The Global Nutcracker Podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Global Nutcracker. Today with me I have a very interesting guest. His name is Arber Kadia and he is a founder of a super app named Patoko. Welcome Arber, thank you very much for being here
Good
today
morning.
with
Thank you
us.
so much for the
Good
invitation.
morning, yeah. Tell me about Patoko first.
What do you want to know? There's so much to tell.
I want to know what the name means, how did you come up with the idea, what problem are you resolving,
All right.
everything.
Okay, all right. So the story starts sometime in May 2022. My co-founder and I, Patrick, we were having different brainstorms about what we were going to do. We had a type of partnership because we met in very unusual circumstances. And we were just thinking what we were going to do. So initially, we wanted to do a medicine, e-commerce and distribution network through the app and everything like that to empower both sides of the marketplace. We found out very quickly that there's a lot of regulation and you cannot do it. So we pivoted to doing this idea, which is the super app. Now, the name initially was supposed to be Toko.
Okay.
And we started all the preparation, everything that goes with it. And then we came to the necessity of buying the domain. And we found out that someone had already taken it and it was 500,000 US dollars. So we just said, oh, crap, what do we do? So we went back to the drawing room. We got all the values in place, and the mission and the vision, everything. And we kind of did a brainstorm and we found out that somehow they intertwined with the goose, which is very interesting because it retains the Toko part, which we wanted to keep, and also has all the values in terms of efficiency, being part of a community and everything that the goose has. You know, they're fantastic birds. But also my co-founder, Patrick, he's got his name in it. So,
I can see that.
so when we go in meetings, sometimes I'm like, hey, he's Pat from Patoko and I'm Oko. So that's the story. But yeah, we started with the first product, which was the quite known now as a product, the ride-hailing app. In 2022, in October, we released the first MVP. It was very interesting because I said to Pat, hey, can we sneak it? Because I'm business, right? So I said, can we go and get something off the shelf, use it, and then we do our iteration? And said, no, everything needs to be built from, from the bottom up, and we need to get a really good product. So this is where we are. Yeah.
That's an amazing story, authentic,
Thank you.
especially the name. I love it.
Thanks.
Tell me more about the app. What does it do actually? Like, how does it work? Who are your customers and so on?
Yeah, so at the moment, the app is focused on three main pillars.
Okay.
One is mobility. So we've got ride hailing, as I said. We've got car rentals. We've got bus tracking and also a delivery system in it. So in the delivery, it's not necessarily like food delivery. It's more like a courier service. So use the existing infrastructure to book that service, someone to come and pick up whatever you want to send across town or wherever you want to send it, right? The other one is book anything. So we facilitate this engine so merchants can basically have two problems solved. One, find customers that come through the critical mass of what we already have, and also have an opportunity to have the technical solution to solving things like CRM, calendar management, invoicing. And then if they want to, they can also just use the app for other things. And we offer a bespoke service there as well. And on top of that, now we've got a digitalized or selling your content online is our influencer platform. So we welcome all of the merchants to say, hey, you want to offer a deal? You want someone to do a review about you? Why don't you just put it on the marketplace? And then if they like it, they'll just do it. They'll post the content for you. If you like it with the rules they've made, you approve it, they get the money, they get the free product, whatever it is. And then we've got also loyalty in it. So basically what Patoko is essential needs all crammed into one. So you don't need just a taxi, right? In your daily life, you need other services. So,
exactly. That's amazing. That's amazing. And
Yeah.
which markets are you covering? You
So-
started in Albania, right?
Yeah, we started in Albania.
Okay.
We're in Kosovo right now.
Okay.
And we are planning to come to Macedonia, North
welcome.
Macedonia, and Montenegro as the initial expansion phase. We're also looking at places like Africa, speaking to a few interested parties right now, trying to understand, do we do it ourselves? Do we go through a local partner? Do we go for a franchise model? There are many ways
Yeah.
of doing it. We're just testing a lot of stuff
Yeah.
as we iterate.
Yeah. Perfect. Tell me about the biggest challenge,
The
the
biggest
nut to
challenge.
crack when you're doing this, because it's a wide range of services
Yeah.
that you're offering, right?
Yeah.
And also different markets.
Yeah.
What is the biggest challenge here?
Well, the biggest challenge is to operate while building, right? So we still haven't got that final product in what we originally had envisioned, and we
Okay.
have a lot of tech debt, which we're coming to solving it by adding more engineers to our team. Although AI is there, you still need a lot of human input.
It's a super app, as we
Uh-huh.
mentioned, so you cover wide range of services, right, in different markets. What is the biggest challenge? What is the nut that you had to crack?
Now, there's so many big challenges there, so it's very difficult to put the one that's really at the top. But I would say that operating while building is the biggest one. And the reason why I'm saying that is because unless you have a final product and you create a lot of tech debt, you need to do solve a lot of other problems, right? So the tech team is already stretched because we already throw a lot of them. The operation team has to very quickly onboard everything that we tell them, internalize all the processes and everything that goes with it. So I say that's the number one challenge. The other one is communicating in underserved markets like Albania the benefits of having a solution such like this, why people should drop out of what they were doing before.
Educating, I guess, your
Educating,
customers.
yeah. So all of that is very tricky, and it's not just the customers; it's businesses that you
Businesses
talk
as well.
to. It's local regulation, educating local investors or investors in general. So it's fantastic to have an upside when you can cover so much, but at the same time, it makes fighting all those fires a bit more difficult. Now, we've got a rhythm, we're adding more team members, and that's what's really helping. But that in itself is also a problem because you need to wait 2, 3, 4 weeks for them to actually understand what they were doing so they can move at the same pace. And when I say 4 weeks, sometimes it takes a bit much longer, but we try to identify the best individuals to come and work for us.
That's really interesting. And sub question to this, and then I'll get to how you will solve this.
Right.
Since the services are local, right? But
Right.
then you go into markets that are not so local to you.
Yeah.
How do you plan to do that? Are you hiring like local experts? Do you partner with local experts? Or do you actually want to have a centralized group of people that will work and accommodate to the local needs of the market?
Right. So what we're building in essentially is a platform that allows from the technical perspective to be the same across the board, right?
Yeah.
But what we're giving, we call it geographical sharding. So every city will have its own logic where they go in, right? So if you go to Bitsala or if you go to Tirana, 2 different cities, 2 different types of service providers. So we solve that problem by doing the marketing, by getting it out there, people to try it on their own. And then like in Google Maps, you go in and then you find whatever you need, right? By having a search engine. So once people understand what we are doing through marketing, right? And through using, then it becomes easy because the merchants start seeing value, and by seeing value, they will do things themselves. So self-serve is really the solution that we're having now. Now, do we do it ourselves? Do we go through a local person? It needs to be seen, but we put a lot of value to the local expertise because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how global your technology is. If it doesn't solve really local or hyper-local problems, then you won't have a match with your users. So we put a lot of focus on that. It's tough. It's not easy. But because we think that we've got a very good way of dealing initially with the introduction that we have with our merchants, then we can do it.
Yeah.
Now, scaling, this becomes a bit more difficult. Scaling by nature is very difficult. But at this moment in time, we believe that we've got it cracked.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just want to comment on the localization point that you mentioned. I just came back from Brazil 2 weeks ago, and they call it tropicalization.
Right.
It's the same because you have to understand the local market, but also you have to understand how to talk to those people about the problem that you're resolving. Because in Macedonia will be different, in Albania will be different. It's how people react to what you're building because of some cultural differences that we have. So I think it's very important. You will crack that nut for sure.
I mean, what is very interesting is that it's not just the face-to-face relationships, it's also interpreting the data to really understand, because different countries have different adoption rates.
Exactly.
And, you might think that in the Balkans, you're not doing very well because people take much longer. But what people don't understand is that unlike the Balkans, everywhere else you have massive user churn because they just drop you, they go to the next shiny thing. In our countries, once you win those customers, they actually become yours.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting understanding the local context. So it's not just data, it's not, there's a lot of KPIs which are mixed between what is there on the logical sense and the technical sense, but also which is very cultural. And that's why hyper-local and local becomes very important in bringing the people who will operate that on the ground.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. And what is the first local partnership that whenever you go into a new market, what is the first local partnership that you're looking for?
So basically what we need to solve, there are two problems. One is the payment infrastructure.
Mhm.
It's very key. We need to understand how we're going to manage the business,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, we need to know that we are working within the confines of what is already allowed. So compliance and payments become very key. And then after that, we just need to hire the best people that understand the market.
Yeah.
And we do that through a process of having really in-depth deep dives on what we need to solve. And I think those are at the very top. There's a lot more other things, but that's
those
at
are
the
top
top.
ones. Completely agreed.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you. And my last question for you. If time and money weren't an issue, which country would you expand to next?
Well, I mean, it has to be either, okay, money is not an issue.
Yeah, money is not an issue. Time is not an issue.
I would say the US.
The US?
Yes, I would
Okay.
say the US by nature of the fact that it's a huge market.
Yeah.
People are always looking for the best deals, for a trusting kind of solution. And also, I need to say, both Uber and Bolt, if we just look at the mobility right aspect, have created problems by disconnecting heavily through the driver base, right? So I hear horror stories now of drivers being charged 30 to 50%
Yeah.
a margin, which I know, like we're a business ourselves, right?
Yeah.
But we cannot be criminal. And what is interesting is that because of this understanding, we've gone to have about 82% retention rate on the driver side, which is a stark contrast to what the likes of Uber have, where it's about like 92% churn, right?
Yeah.
So I would say solving those problems in markets such as the US, if the money was there, and it would take a lot of money. That's why I sighed a little bit. You said money is not an issue.
Yeah.
You probably need about $20 billion to make it work, but yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I wish you all of the best. I think you have an amazing app and you have
Thank
an
you.
amazing plan. I really wish that money are not a problem in the next year or so, and you get to where you want to get with it. Because
Yeah.
I think like working locally but thinking globally is what you need right now. So you're amazing. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much.
Thank you so much. And you've done something spectacular here. So I spent a bit more time in your booth to speak to some of your people, understand how you solve some of the common issues that we have. But thank you so much for the
Thank you
invitation.
so much for being here.
Go global, not nuts.